4 is
Four.
doing the training. Who is? 4 is. The trainer's 4 years old? No, 4 is 24. No, 24 is 24.
I love this Albert Costello bit. This is great. Hey guys, my name's Dan, and today's reaction is the Divergent pitch meeting. And holy crap, was this a long one? 2.5 hours. I'm never really a fan of sitting around and watching anything for that long unless I'm binging something. I'm very curious to see, though, if he decides to cover the rest of the Divergent series after this one, or maybe he's already covered them. I don't think he has, because I don't think he would just cover other ones and then just go back to the first one. So I'm curious to see how he feels about the other 2 movies, because I haven't seen those either. And as always with these pitch meeting reactions, I do have a whole bunch of notes here that we're going to go through throughout the video. So if there's any points that are made that are on my notes here, I'll talk about it. And then at the very end, I'll give my overall thoughts on the movie. But before we get into it, though, please do check all those links I have for you down in the description below. More specifically, the pitch meeting link and his personal channel as well. They're both great ways to support him. And a great and easy way to support me is to go right below this video, click all those buttons down there, because I'll let you see future reactions that I do, but also it's my channel to grow. And without any further ado, let's go.
So, you have a new YA movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. Amazing, because we're almost out of Hunger Games movies, and I'm terrified. Well, I've got you covered. This is based on a book series called Divergent. Does it have dystopian teens in it? It does.
It sure
So
does.
we're gonna follow the main character, Triss, and she's not like the other girls. Oh, can you tell me more? Nope, perfect. This is gonna take place in a dystopian, futuristic Chicago where everybody's divided into 5 factions. What do you mean? Well, you've got erudite, who are smart, candor, who are honest, amity, who are peaceful, abnegation, who are selfless and run everything. And what's the 5th? They're called dauntless, and they run around and climb things and go, woohoo! Oh, that's
they do a lot of climbing.
Crazy one. Yeah, it is, and they're also the police. What? So anyway, when kids are 16, they get this serum-induced test that tells you what faction you should join during this choosing ceremony. Okay. But when Triss does it, the lady doing the test is like, you have equal attributes in all factions. That's dangerous for you. It is. Yeah, because it means they're harder to control or something. So the lady fakes her results to be abnegation and sneaks her out the back door. If she changed the results, why sneak her out the back? Isn't that more suspicious? They should
Yes.
Also, then at the choosing ceremony, Triss decides to become dauntless. Why even bother with the testing if you're just going to let people choose whatever? Listen, sir, I'm going to need you to get all the way off my back about how the testing works, okay? That's just how it is.
Oh, okay.
Let me get off of that thing.
All right,
Now that she chose dauntless, she immediately has to leave her family forever and start running around and screaming woo and climbing stuff.
Lots of
Just
wooing.
right into it. Yeah, she's going to meet one of the older guys doing the training. This guy 4. For what? Training. Training for... No, 4 is doing the training. Who is? 4 is. The trainer's 4 years old? No, 4 is 24. No, 24 is 24.
I love this Albert Costello bit. This is great.
Technically, yes, but the trainer's 4. And what's his name? 4? I just want to know. His name is 4. 4 is his name. Oh, okay. That went pretty well. Anyway, 4 and Triss are eventually going to fall in love. Wait, isn't Triss 16? Yes, so that's like kind of wrong. Oh,
yeah,
was
it
like
is.
18, but I kicked that up to 24. So
And it also, it's super weird because at first he's like really, really, really mean to her and like everybody else. And it was such a quick jump. It didn't really feel natural at all to me.
Like kind of wrong. Not in this fictional world, it's not.
Yeah, that.
Why'd you write this? Anyway,
I know.
Dauntless training.
What's live sort of weird fantasies, I guess.
Trainers are really mean to the new recruits. Oh, they are? Yeah, especially this one guy. He's a real jerk. And what's his little evil dystopian name? Oh, you're gonna like this. Eric? Very evil. And so they're actually getting
Evil
ranked
Eric.
during this whole thing, and the lowest ranked people get kicked out. Oh. Yeah, and that means they become factionless, which means homeless, but in a future-y way. Gross. So as part of the training, she gets knocked unconscious twice. So obviously she's not doing great. She gets knocked unconscious? Yeah, the second time for like a full day. She has brain damage for
Yep, probably.
No, she gets up and sprints and catches up to a moving train. So getting knocked out for a full day is just fine in this world? Apparently so. So then they do this capture the flag game, and Triss is the only one who thinks about climbing up high to get a good vantage point. He said climbing was like one of the 2 things they do besides screaming woo. Yeah.
Besides screaming woo!
In the rankings a bit. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Wow.
So now the next part of the training's going into serum-induced nightmares and getting out of sticky situations. Very
Getting out of a
exciting,
sticky
except
situation.
clearly not real, so immediately less exciting. Yeah, but then 4 is gonna see that she's solving problems divergently. Busted. And so since he
Yup.
likes her, he's gonna bring her into his fear landscape to help her train. Bringing people into your fear landscape is tight. That's what I call my basement. Cool. Okay,
Oh!
and then we're also gonna find out that 4 calls himself 4 because he has 4 fears. So if he sees a ghost and gets spooked, he's got to change his name to 5. Yes, and we also find out that Erudite plans to overthrow Abnegation as the government people. Oh, how do they plan on doing that? Well, after the final testing, all the Dauntless are going to get brainwashed and programmed to go attack Abnegation. If they were planning on mind controlling them, why eliminate some of them? Doesn't that just hurt their numbers? Unclear, but the
You
serum
would think
doesn't
so.
affect Triss because she's divergent, and she finds out that 4 is as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so they need to act brainwashed while all the other Dauntless are killing Abnegation folks, but then they get busted by Eric. Frickin' Eric. So 4 gets
Damn it,
taken away
Eric.
and Triss gets brought to the back to get executed. If they're just killing people out of the open, why did they bring her to the back? Oh, she's the main character. That makes sense. But then
That's gotta be
Triss's
more
mom
dramatic.
pops out and saves her, and she's like, haha, surprise, I actually used to be Dauntless. I was interesting.
Oh, now it's getting interesting. What's her deal?
So then she dies. Oh, okay.
Yep.
And then Triss reunites with their
Not
dad,
too
and he's
far
like,
away
guess what? I'm
from that.
secretly cool too.
Oh.
So he dies. Right, okay. And so Triss goes to rescue 4, but he's being controlled by another serum, and he's being programmed to kill her.
Uh-oh, well, it's gonna be impossible to stop him now.
Wait.
Actually, it's gonna be super
Super
easy.
easy.
Barely
Barely
an
an
inconvenience.
inconvenience.
Oh, really? Yeah, because she's going to tell him that she loves him, and that's going to break the curse. I thought it was a
Yeah.
serum. I don't care.
Nope.
To save the day, does
Really
she have
not.
to tell all the other kids she loves them too? No. See, they're all being controlled by a computer that's being controlled by this big old boss evil lady.
Oh, what's her evil dystopian name?
Get a load of this, Sir Janine.
Whoa.
So to stop Janine, they actually inject her with the mind control serum and tell her to stop the machine, and she has to obey them because, because of the serum. But you just said orders are given through a computer. Yes. But they just do it to her verbally. They do, yes.
Yes.
And then the mind control's broken because it worked.
Yeah,
works
yeah,
in
but
different
somehow
ways.
it-
Well, great. So
Yeah,
did they
yeah.
kill Janine?
No, that would be a little much. Oh, do the main characters not kill or something? No, they kill a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly just extras because they don't really matter. That makes
No.
sense, they don't.
So then the good guys jump onto a train that's somehow always running and ride it into the sequel. Very
Woo!
exciting. And so that's about it. What do you think? Well, I mean, we're doing the Hunger Games recipe, and people like the Hunger Games. I don't see how this
Sure.
can fail.
Oh dear. 6 reasons why Divergent movies failed where Hunger Games succeeded. Yeah, I could see that little argument. Okay, so, going through all my notes here, the whole jumping around and saying woo thing, because they started off right off the bat with them coming off the train, just jumping while it's moving. It felt weird and unnecessary at the time, didn't really know too much about it, but, apparently it's kind of their thing. I get that, people like trains, but their faction really does, but who am I to judge? But, they also did some parkour. I get how fun that can be, jumping off of high things, like really high things. Basically, trusting them not to let you die. So that was interesting, and it was cool seeing Kate Winslet in it. She was the main antagonist. I've always been a huge fan of hers. And then getting the tattoo thing was another super random thing, I felt like, because Triss was talking to Christina about how worried she was, and then out of nowhere Christina was like, you know what we should do? Get tattoos, because that's what people do when, they're bored in this world, apparently. No real reason as to why. It just felt really forced to me, so Triss could have a one-on-one meeting with Tori. Then 4, helping Triss, that also felt out of nowhere as well, because as I said, 4 was very mean to her, along with many others, and it, there was no real natural progression there. He just randomly started helping her, and, they made sure that you noticed that, he was touching her in certain places to be like, oh, that's going to be a love interest. So they made that super obvious. But despite that, I did enjoy Triss's fight back. I like that her character basically started at the bottom, quite literally as the song goes. But she never gave up. It makes you want to root for a type of character like that, so whenever she finally succeeds, you can be like, yay, she did a thing, she did a good thing. Like, you know, with the capture the flag bit, where she beat up that other girl, took the flag, and then she was moving up the rankings. Then later on, when she sees what happens to other Divergents, it gives a real sense of, you know, being in danger, a lot of suspense going on there, and she definitely reacted naturally to that, which was nice. And overall, her progression, I thought was really good. I thought it was really, really nice. It was one of the things that was a highlight for me for the movie. With that said, though, I do think Rotten Tomatoes got things right there as far as the score is concerned. I think it was like a 40-something. I didn't really like it too much. I didn't really think it was a great movie, but I certainly don't think it was like really, really horrible, like really like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But we'll have to wait and see again if he decides to cover the rest of the series, because I'm very curious to see if it gets any better. Oh, also another part that really felt weird to me. Mekhi Phifer is in this movie. You wouldn't really know it because he wasn't really in too much of it. When you have an actor of that caliber, that kind of feels like maybe you should use him more. He technically had a big role, but the lines he had were very few and far between and felt very, very weird. But so that's going to do it for me here. Comment down below. Let me know, what did you think about Divergent? Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Please check all those links I have for you down in the description below. Lastly, and most importantly, I want to give a huge shout out to all my $5 and up supporters on Patreon: Luchador, Cruising, Wolverine 310, GBN, Kester Kronich, Amber K, Joshi, Chris Curtis, Haley Machinardi, Am Perry, Larka, Vatsacophony, Dancing Viru, Morgan Page, Kaylee McKinney, Izzy, Misa, Misa2, Lily the Snoopy Fan, Nunsay Singh, Lauren, Jenny the Swiftie, Allison the Aesthetic Girl, and Jonathan. And if you too like to have a shout out at the end of each and every one of my videos, please head over to patreon.com/thedanreactor for more. And I'll see you guys next time.